So hello comrades, how are you doing? I'm JJ and welcome to Top 10 Awesome Moments in Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 3. With this awesome new chapter we have a lot more content to cover. We have finally met Alice, explored a new big map, greeted with new creatures, all evil and ready to jump in my face. So since chapter 3 is pretty long and sometimes complex, where you can get stuck with one Alice errand for quite some time, I'm making this top 10 where you can see all the coolest and most important moments of chapter 3. If you at any point of this video will enjoy it, leave a like or share it with your friends, if you of course have any. It will have some major story spoilers, so be advised. And without more hesitation, let's start our top 10 awesome moments in chapter 3 video. Number 10. Meeting Boris in the beginning of the chapter. We have already met Boris the Wolf in chapter 1 and 2. In chapter 1 he was dead, but at the very beginning of chapter 3 you will be inside Boris's hideout. Going to the living room, you will finally meet him first in chapter 3, all sitting with his cool pose and not giving a f. So I have to disappoint my 1 million viewers, Boris is not talking. I tried to force him to talk, shoved some hot cans of soup down his throat, but all he did was give me a lever to leave his safe house. And yes, he followed me pretty much everywhere. And in the most tense situations, he did not make a sound. The best he can do is cover his eyes and bend his knees a little bit. Bend, get the reference? Anyway, when Bendy was nearby. So whenever you feel depressed and you need to talk with somebody, Boris is definitely not the best choice. He is a choice for my ex-girlfriend who could not shut up and needed a partner with no mouth. Number 9. Going to a Heavenly Toys factory. So apparently the whole industry Joey Drew made was quite a big one. Not only the animations were in place, he hired a huge staff, but also the souvenirs. From small Bendy plushes to huge Boris ones. And everything had to be done somewhere, and that somewhere is the place you're visiting in chapter 3. A Heavenly Toys factory. This is an awesome sight. Big toy planes are attached to the ceiling of this huge hall. Posters with all animated characters around the place. Dreams come true slogan written on the wall. Yeah, Joey sure knew how to get into children's hearts. Personally, I love the second smaller room where you will find plushie crafting line. This is where you get your small Bendy toy made. I love how this room has so much detail. It represents how much work has to be done to make one of those cute dolls. Number 8. Jacksepticeye has voiced Sean Flynn in Bendy and the Ink Machine. I don't be seeing what the big deal is. Sounds familiar? I know I cannot make a good voice impressions, but for those who watch a lot of YouTube gaming videos, this task was the easy one. Yes, it is Jacksepticeye's voice. So what if I went and painted some of those Bendy dolls with a crooked smile? Ah, Jacksepticeye, this is really what you would never do, right? So in Bendy and the Ink Machine, he is Sean Flynn, and apparently he is an artist who makes these dolls. Frankly speaking, now I want a Bendy doll more than before. To know that Sean Flynn paints them all by himself. Yes, and I think I would choose Bendy doll with a crooked smile. By the way, we are going to encounter one more tape recorder with YouTuber's voice, Da Games, and apparently he is an accountant in Bendy and the Ink Machine. Number 7. Boris Cologne room. This room is very special and unique. Let's start everything from the beginning. So do you remember Boris with chest open in Bendy and the Ink Machine chapter 1? It appears that he is not the one we meet in the end of chapter 2. A lot of people think that they are related, and this room proves the opposite. It appears that there are a lot of Borises in Bendy and the Ink Machine. Maybe they were once just a plush toys, but right now they were brought back to life. And in the clone room, as I like to call it, Alice is feasting on them, searching for the best part to use on herself. Yeah, that sounds horrible, but it appears that she is using Boris the Wolf body parts to make her beautiful again. Such a typical behavior from a girl. Number 6. Meeting the Projectionist. We have a new monster in Bendy and the Ink Machine. the Projectionist, or as I like to call it, the TV guy. So first you meet this dude in floor number 11. Don't worry, he is not going to hurt you, he cannot see you. He just creeps by to another room and shuts the door behind his back. And no, you're not going to see him on this floor anymore, so don't crap your pants. And yes, don't get your hopes high up because you're still going to meet him, and this time in his domain. So after you have successfully defended Alice, she is going to give you the final task. Go down to level 14 and collect 5 hearts. This is where the Projectionist is lurking. What you need to do is run away from the source of light on his head and you will be safe. I know he's a creepy dude, but it is very easy to avoid him. Number 5. Meeting Bendy for the first time. Yes, you are going to encounter Bendy one way or another. There is a small chance you will avoid Bendy's wrath when doing errands for Alice, collecting stuff she needs around the map. But eventually, she gives you an axe and orders you to go and rampage on Bendy cutouts. The same cutouts who you could kill in chapter 3 and they would just respawn. After you destroy the last piece, Alice is surprised, and at the end of the dialogue, she says that Bendy hates when somebody is messing with his cutouts and immediately teleports near you and tries to chase you and grab you. You will notice walls dripping with ink when he is near you, so if the screen becomes darker and darker, good luck. Hearing Joey Drew for the first time. The whole Bendy and the Ink Machine game starts with a small letter from Joey Drew to Henry. The same he tells you about the 30-year relationship and how he wants you to come back to the studio. And that's it. Chapter 1 and 2 had no more records of Joey. If you choose Demon Path, you will find a room with a huge ink stains on the floors and walls and a tape recorder from Joey. There is nothing wrong with dreaming. The recorder starts. The whole record is filled with mysteries, and at the end you will hear a bizarre line. Why, with enough belief you can even cheat death itself. What does that mean? I know a lot of conspiracy theories will have a lot of material to work on. Number 3. Meeting Alice for the first time. Finally, we have Alice on the table. So many speculations, so many theories, so many concept arts, and she is finally in chapter 3. And she is a devil. Our first encounter with her is not the most pleasant one. She greets us with awesome song. The heavenly voice of her is truly amazing. But suddenly lights disappear and she emerges from the ground with her mutilated face and screams with demonic voice at us. Not the most pleasant first date, I would say. She disappears as fast as she appears, as if she is ashamed of herself. So for the first time, she only lets to see her for a limited time. It is so awesome to finally meet her in person and see how she actually looks like. No more speculations or wrong concept arts. And don't worry, we are going to meet her again in the next booth where she is doing some crazy stuff. Number 2. Teaming up with Alice. Who could have thought? Alice is one of the most important characters in chapter 3. So important that we are talking about her once more. Progressing into a game a little bit further, you will encounter her once more. In awesome domain where she is torturing Butcher Gang member with electricity. It is the place where she spares us and orders to go and do some bidding for her. I think we clearly understand that she is not the one we could play with, so I gladly take the opportunity to live and become Alice's slave. When you walk outside of that torture room, you don't see her anymore. She contacts you through the speaker. It is as if she is ashamed of her body again. Anyway, she has the worst attitude, but we still stick to her. We don't want to lose our heads today. And yes, at the end she betrays us. And number 1, you can get an actual working Tommy gun in chapter 3. Yes, you can. I know you have tried to take the Tommy gun before venturing to floor number 14 and facing the Projectionist, but it's just vanished, becoming a huge ink stain. That means you did something wrong. Either chose Alice path instead of Demon, or died at some point in the game, or did not switch small inky Bendy blob into an ink machine. Doing the following will allow you to grab a Tommy gun and actually kill the Projectionist at level 14. Now, if you think that your problems end with this weapon, you are wrong. Unfortunately, you cannot kill Bendy even if you unleash 5 full clips at him. He is unkillable. Any other monsters will just die instantly, so you don't need to worry about them. It's just a little bit sad that you can get Tommy gun at the end of chapter 3 and can't unleash the full potential of this weapon. One awesome thing, try shooting the battles and see what happens. So comrades, this concludes our top 10 awesome moments in Bendy and the Ink Machine chapter 3. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, you are always welcome to like this video, share it with your friends, or consider becoming a comrade by subscribing to this channel for more awesome content. Maybe you have an idea on what next top 10 I should make? Leave a comment, I always read every single one of them. If you like to see more videos from me, don't forget to press a bell icon next to a subscribe button as shown in the video so you will be notified when I upload a new video. And as always, I will see you all tomorrow in the next video. Bye!